Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. So, as you can see, the title, Veterans Camp Bath. That's what we're called now. Not PTSD Bath, not late night veteran show. Veterans Camp Bath. Nothing to do with Darren Edmondson. The only kind of thing you can donate to in money is a GoFundMe that goes to Dion. That's been up a few years, well before the late night veteran show. And of course, there's an address where you can send stuff to the camp. And I'm hoping over the next few weeks we'll get a few food deliveries and such sent to the camp. That's the address for the camp. And I will be doing PTSD. That's the GoFundMe. Even though it says PTSD Camp Bath, goes to Dion Dress and that. Don't go past anybody else. Direct to Dion. And again, the address is there. Let me just edit that. Do a ticker with that GoFundMe. That's the addresses to the camp. Now, you know, the GoFundMe, even though it's out. Oh, wait. Got to check some messages. Just bear with me. Bear with me, guys. Right. So yeah, somebody has put into the GoFundMe. I'm just going to mention the names because they are on there. Yep. I put a donation in 4 months to check that it was working, and it was. And then since then, there's a £50 gone in 3 months ago, and then 1 month ago, another 50 from someone called Michael. So thank you very much, guys. Keep it going. The money's being used constantly. I will show you over the next couple of weeks that there has been an extension and a covering put onto the clubhouse. And anyone who's been to that camp before, including people who slag it off, you'll know how much work has gone into that. So we'll see that over the next couple of weeks. But it's all about the camp, guys. Why should I talk about it? Well, I've been going to that camp for over the past 5 years, looking after my mum. I've been to that camp every Christmas, every November, several other times during the year. There's loads of social media on it. People know I have been to that camp over all that time. I've also been going to camp now since 2018. It was Justice for Bunny. And if you know Kevin Crehan, he died halfway through a sentence, a 12-month sentence. And what caused this was alleged bacon on a mosque. But it wasn't bacon, it was an England flag. The people who run the mosque lied, and the person who he was with lied. Now, you know, I'm not an expert to tell you. I wasn't personally involved, but I've been protesting and supporting his family, Kevin Crehan's family and his friends since 2018. And we've been almost every Christmas and if not Christmas, June time. And we've protested outside the courts in Bristol, and we've been to Bristol HMP several times. Again, all documented on my social media. And we did a lot of protesting at the prisons. And I've talked about the prisons. I've talked about men's mental health. And we've had veterans on talking about veterans who were in prison. I've had them on the show over the past 2 years. You would have seen Sydenham, and it's something I'm like quite close to, unfortunately, because men are really overlooked in society, especially around mental health issues and stuff like that. A man, we've got to man up, we've got to put up with it. Meanwhile, the feminists have overtook the movement now, and everyone's pro woman, and the man is just left at the side, and it's not good. It's not good, guys. It really isn't good. Good evening, Nathan. Oh, excellent. Thank you, mate. Thank you. So yeah, and we've had our good times, we've had our bad times at the camp. It's still there, and it's still supporting veterans. I'm not a veteran. Never ever said I was. But what's my connection? Well, I'll just get it out. My uncle was in the RAF. My uncle Richard, and this is his book on reflection. Let me just see if I've got that screen the right way around. I think that's right. On reflection, Richard Sargent, and talks about his life in the RAF. He didn't have a glorious times. He wasn't a fighter pilot or anything. He actually, it's very interesting that he was. If people know what PCB assembly is and chipboards that you have in your computers and your phones, that's what he made. And I've talked about this. I've done detailed stories on this. Oldham is famous for these chipboards, and a company called Ferrantes used to do them. And that technology went into building things, went into things like the RAF Tornado aircraft. And nowadays, that technology goes into making chipboards for missiles, and then we for some reason we're selling them to Israel and they're bombing everyone. But anyway, that's another thing. So that's my Uncle Richard. Also, I've got two cousins who served in Iraq as well. Last one I've seen lately was cousin David. I think his daughter got married. So I've got two cousins who served in Iraq, and I'm 58 years old. So I've been around during wartime, the Falklands and all that lot. I've been here. So, and I've supported when I met Joe, which was at the Justice for Bunny demonstration. We come back, we went to Bath first, and we pitched at her house for afternoon. June it were, lovely afternoon. Who was with us? Jimmy the App, James Goddard, Diane, Joel Taylor, myself, Arlene, Jim, James Edwards, Jim Edwards. So that's 7. I think there were 8 of us, and we went to the camp, and then Dion and Joe talked about what they wanted to do with the camp and stuff like that, and it started from there, guys. That's where it started from. Just looking something up now. Just bear with me. So yeah, that's all. Yes, Nick Wilson. Good evening, my man. Nick Wilson in the chat, guys. He did the reboot program with us, done 2 reboot programs. We've been talking. He's ready to step in to do another round of our trauma course. It was reboot when we did it. It's going to be rebranded, but he's going to do another trauma course, and I'll be doing it, of course, as well. Sorry, I'm on my phone. I shouldn't be, but I've just got like the odd thing to. I didn't have time to share anything tonight, guys. You just have to bear with me. I've got to go on X and tag in a few people in a post on X. I'm streaming to our National Housing Party, Pat's channel. I'm streaming to Pat's channel tonight on X. So I'll be modest. Won't be any swear. I'll be a lot more modest. But yeah, I'm streaming to Pat's channel. I'll just get it up. I just want to do some retweets and stuff of the stream. And I like to tag in. I'll tell you, I'm going to tag in now. Friday Night Live, Veterans Camp, Bath. And I tag in Jewish Chronicle, because they lied. Good Law Project, they lied. Simon Fell, ex-member of Parliament for Cumbria, another liar. So the Jewish Chronicle said they did a nasty write-up about the camp. You can Google it up, PTSD Camp Bath, and just say a load of nasty things, right? So we can't criticize people. I'm criticizing Zionists now for bombing the Middle East and causing more war. I don't want anybody here. I have issues with a lot of people, but I don't want to be responsible. As in England, our tax money is going to send weapons to Israel and the bombing people. So I'm against them. You're liars, right? You're liars, Jewish Chronicle. You're liars, you Zionist liars, right? And I want you banned from interfering with UK politics, because we have friends of Israel in both Conservative and Labour Party. That's why we're in such a mess now, because they influence our politics. I don't want any of that. I've made it absolutely crystal clear 100 million times. And if you don't like it, stop influencing our political parties. Our political parties should be working for people in Britain, not the rest of the world. And if you don't like the fact that I'm giving like Jewish Israel tough, I'm not said anything nasty. I'm just pointing out the obvious. I don't want my tax money going to cunts like that. To people like this who are bombing other people in the world. I don't want that. I don't want war, and I've never wanted war. The last armed forces thing I supported that Britain did was the Falklands. I was against the Iraq War. I don't know how old. Let me know how old. Let me know how old some of you are in the chat now. Let me know how old some of you are. Give me some indication, guys. Let me see some ages. Come on. Let me know. Just give me an age. Nick, how old are you, Nick? Round 30? Come on, guys. What's up with you? Tell me how old you are. Give me some ideas. Come on. Come on, lads. Come on. Lads and lassies. Tell me how old you are. Give me some idea of your age. I'm 58 years old, mate. Let me know how old you are. Please. Just let me know. Let me know. Let me know how old you are. Come on. Let me know how old you are. Just doing some sharing on social media. Come on, someone give me an age. Right, so Nathan, 60. So Nathan knows. All right, have they donated it to the GoFundMe, by the way? Did it go into the bank or someone's bank, or was it the GoFundMe? It was a bank. Thank you, and I do know that myself. There has, besides them couple of donations I read out on the GoFundMe, there's been a couple of substantial donations, and Nathan's saying it in the chat. Direct to camp, right? Yeah, no worries. Thank you, Nathan. Thank you. And I do know that. I'm not going to say the names are staying anonymous, but there's been 2 large donations totaling 250 quid. So thank you for that. Yes, of course. I should have remembered. Yeah. 41. So Nick's 41. So Nick would have been around. Been less than. You've been just less under 20. You've been a teenager in the year 2000. My first official sort of like protest activism thing was on against the Iraq War. Against the Iraq War. Now I have people who are a lot younger, who are babies, and telling me, that I'm wrong. And I said, I campaigned against the Iraq War. I didn't want to go to war in Iraq. Although the Iraq War, I was like the technology that we had, because that was some of the first. There was some interesting like technology and things to do with the war that were interesting, but I was against the war. I didn't want people being killed in the Middle East because, as I can say it, but there was lots of prominent people at the time saying what would happen. And we are still seeing today the effects of what happened with invading Iraq and stopping Saddam. Now, you don't get told everything to do with war, do you, Weckers? Nobody gets told everything to do with war. But there are a lot of confounding factors around that war. And we just didn't listen to people. And of course, our armed forces went out. Of course, X amount of soldiers have been killed. But since then, we've had X amount of civilians killed as well because of that war. And I was totally against it. So that's over 20 years ago. So nobody comes on here telling me what I can speak about, what I can't speak about, and stuff like that. I'm just not having it. Guys, I'm not having it. I'm just not having it. It's just never going to work. It just never. Not with me. 14 years. It will just never work with me. So, yeah, let me just finish that tweet off. Friday Night Live, Veterans Camp Bath, Jewish Chronicle, Good Law Project, Simon Fell. Just tag GB News because they're assholes as well. I'll tag in Labour, UK Labour. Reform UK, bunch of wet wipes and bandwagon jumpers. UK Labour Party, tag Conservatives. There we go. And the Lib Dems, headed by Zach Polanski, real name David Paulden. Just remember that, guys. He's changed his name to Zach Polanski, but his real name is David Paulden. I wonder why he's changed his name. It sounds a bit shady, that. I mean, the left go on about a certain other person all the time who's changed his name, but I'm just saying, Lib Dem leader, he's a Green leader, the Greens. I fucking forgot what to put Green Party in. Green Party. What am I doing? Lib Dems. Idiot. Green Party. Oh, and I'm going to tag him, Zach Polanski. I am. Zach Polanski. Also known as David Paulden. Yeah. So Friday Night Live, Veterans Camp Bath, at Jewish Chronicle, Good Law Project, Simon Fell, GB News, Reform Party, UK Labour, Conservative, Lib Dems, Green Party, Zach Polanski, a.k.a., remember he's changed his name, it's a bit shady sounding that, David Paulden. Ooh, I wonder why he's changed his name, the shady get. All you lot is liars, bandwagon jumpers, failures, and a bunch of wet wipes. And like, oh, John, they won't see your tweets, or of course they do. If they've written articles about me, they're very much well aware of me. And I'm hoping that I am on their minds, because I can thought that since that camp went through bad things when it got raided, I've been on to these every week, tagging them and calling them liars and wet wipes and stuff like that, which they all are. And I don't care if it's Jewish Chronicle, don't care if it's like LGBT, Zach Polanski. I don't care about it. I don't care about the feelings of anybody within any of them parties if you've attacked me or that camp in the past. So that's where we go. You should be lucky that I'm not a stalker and stuff like that. I just do this regular when I'm doing streams and that, but I don't stalk them every day by posting and messaging them and emailing them. I don't do any of that shit. But you know who I am. You've written bullshit things about that camp and you've never even been. It just makes you the biggest lot of wet wipes and nobody's ever. And you said that you've tried to contact me, but you haven't. So Jewish Chronicle, Good Law Project, Simon Pell, all Zionist botty lickers. GB News, Reform Party, same again, Labour and Conservatives, Lib Dem Greens, Zach Polanski. You're all botty lickers of somebody who's nothing to do with England and Britain. You know, you botty lick to the globalists and all that. We're not having it. So that post is, boom, gone. And I'll make sure, actually, now I've done the post, I'll copy the link and then I'll go on to the Labour, put it in a look. I'll do all that now while we're on the stream. I will do all that right now. Oh, yes. I'm just trying to think. Yes, Robin Hood. Jim Bob, just get me ass straight. And throughout all these streams, I will be nice in some of them, but I'm going to call these people out every week. If you've got an issue with it, You just have to get over it or be offended. But I'm going to call them out every week, and then I'll spend at least one day a week putting all the link to the video and all the tweets I do about the camp. I'll put them into them people's groups and stuff like that, just so they know that we're still here. Just so they know that we're still here. Yeah, I think that's absolutely fair enough. Yes, Jackie. I'm having a roll up, guys. I'm not being too on nice tonight, and I've had my first drink of brandy tonight. I've worked hard all week, so I have. I've been busy all week. We've had a few appointments where we've had to get up at 7:30 in the morning, because if a lot of you don't know that I'm a full-time carer for a paraplegic now, after doing 5 years looking after my mum with advanced Alzheimer's. I now look after my nephew, a paraplegic. But that's what I'm going to say, and that's my life. I don't have any second job. I don't get any donations. Any money that comes into me through social media goes to my party bank account. If it's to do anything to do with these streams, will go to the camping bath, obviously, through the GoFundMe and donations. But anything else goes into my party bank account for leaflets. So I don't earn any money off social media, no matter what anyone thinks. I've been checked out by the DWP. They've had my bank statements last year, and I passed. And I've kept it like this, knowing the kind of issues it gets when you have a second, third job. And so I don't have any of that, me. And I'm on universal credit and carers allowance. That's it. I even have to get from the food bank every now and then, because we don't have like stacks of money, and to eat healthy. And I'm a big eater. Sometimes I go to the bread and butter, it's called. So once a week they come round, and if you're part of First Choice Homes Oldham, you get a chance to like spend like £8 and get 4 bags of stuff. And sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not that good, but more often than not, you get a nice mix of vegetables and all that lot. And then the potatoes don't go off. You can have them for a couple of weeks and stuff like that. You get eggs and stuff. So I buy that sometimes, because we can't afford the food prices and stuff like that. Our electric and is dead high. So I for the past 5 years looking after my mum, I've had fuck all, guys. I've had nothing. I'm lucky that I've got good friends. I'm lucky that I've got Joe at the camp. Joe knows I didn't have much. All I have to do is get to the camp, she says. That's all you got to do, John. Don't matter what you do, just get to the camp. We'll look after you. And I'm fed well. If I need a couple of quid, she'll give me a couple of quid, or a bit of baccy, or a pouch of baccy or something. But I mean, a lot of the times I've come with stuff anyway, donations from other people, and I do okay. But that's how it's been for 5 years. And she said it to me loads of times. Don't matter what, John, you just make sure you get to the camp and you'll get well looked after. And I have been for 5 years. I've done videos. I've talked about this hundreds of times, guys, in the 5 years. So you if you don't believe me, then you haven't been watching any of my social media. You don't watch my YouTube, because it's all on there. It's all on there, documented what I've done. So and and what can I give the camp, and what can I give to veterans is social media. I've been in London filming veteran marches, asked by veterans to film their marches. Obviously, to do with the camp, I've done interviews with Joe and Dion, with other people and stuff like that. We've done that. The other week we had Jada on. We brought Steve on first to give us a 20-minute rundown of the camp, and that's what I can do to support veterans is social media. If there's some, I went to Liverpool the other week specifically trying to meet up with veterans, which I did, but it ended up being a big digital ID thing. But I went for them. I didn't go for my own thing. I went to like film them and support them, and I have done London, the Northeast, Durham, um, Bristol, Birmingham, been all over the country on demonstrations and supporting our veterans with my social media. And I don't ask for nothing. I'm not. But if I can get the message out more, which I know I can do, then that's something positive towards people at the camp, and it's positive towards the veterans who come to that camp. A couple of Christmases ago, you would believe how much stuff I took down to that camp in one go. You just won't believe it. And I don't know why I never took I'm sure I took a picture of the table that we filled up, but I'll look for it in the next couple of weeks. But whatever I can do. The other week, a mate of mine, Paul, gave me 4 double bed electric blanket warmer things that you can easily washable and stuff like that. And he gave me 4, and I took them to the camp in November. I didn't need them, but I thought they could be used at the camp. And Joe was very thankful for them. Nice electric hot water blankets that really low electric cost as well. Very low electric cost. Oh my Lord. All right then, Jackie. Yeah. Put me down for it then. Put me down for it. So Jackie and her channel, they're doing a bush tucker thing. I'm all up for it, me. I've done Celebrity Get Me Out of Here and Bigger Brother that we've done. I'm well up for that bush tucker thing. You can mark my word. I'll take part in that. Thank you, Logman. Thank you. I just want to help, and being political. And if you ever looked at my social media, I care. I care about family, children, people's mental health. I've talked about this hundreds of times in the 10 years or so that I've been an activist and campaign. It's been on my leaflets. And it's something that I'm very wary of. Even before I supported the camp, I was very wary of like men's mental health and stuff like that. I knew what it was like to know people who've been in the forces, who had issues when they come out. I've met all these people throughout my life. I know what it's like. I've talked to them on the street, from Inverness down to London. And, I just want to support people. That's all I want to do. I'm not the fastest starter off the block, but if I say I'm going to do something else, I do it. I'm not just one who goes on social media, falls out with someone and just starts swearing and slagging and threatening. I don't do that shit, me. I do positive and productive things to support other people, which I always have done. And people who know me well in Oldham know that I'm like that. And they'll say to you, well, he's always been that kind of person, supportive. I've had a large family, looked after all my nephews. I'm a godfather of 3 children, although I don't have my own kids. I'm very hands-on and active with young people and stuff like that. I'm concerned about like schools and stuff like that. And as a local councillor, I'm concerned about the schools that we have, and I've done a lot to do with youth and stuff like that. And maybe I'd like to be something like some kind of youth trainer or something like in life, or if I ever get on the council, maybe do something to do with the youth and supporting them and stuff like that. And I've had a lot of good positive feedback off youth in Oldham. All the time they want to stop me and have a photograph of me or talk about things I've talked about. So that's how I want to help people the best I can, which, is only right for a kind of person like me. We're brought up in Britain. Church of England values, very mellow. We're not hardcore, we're not extreme or anything. The values I've been brought up with that make me the person I am today, and the same with a lot of other people. So big up to the farm, big up to Joe and Dion and the family. I just want to say, when I met Joe and Dion and went to that farm. There were no grandkids. There's 3 grandchildren now, guys. There was no grandkids born. There's 3 grandchildren now at that farm. So, feels like part of my family. And, like when my mum passed away, we had loads of stuff at the house, and we had loads of wipes, like those mama wipes, and I didn't need them here, and I could have probably given them some, but there was a couple of new babies down at the farm, so I turned up with like six packets or 8 packets, and the next time I come down, turned up with another like 6 packets, just somewhere for them to go because they're more needed with the youngsters and stuff like that. So, I just want to help people the best I can. And as a wannabe local councillor, I think it's important that, like, I show that and people know that that's the kind of thing that I've done. You know what I mean? And it's been the time of my life to look after my mum, I tell you. Time of my life. I've loved it. I've absolutely loved it. Nathan, my first protest, 1979, 14 years old. Oh, my Lord. Oh, Ramo's in the chat. Thank you, Ramo. Thank you very much. Thank you. Like I said, I'm not the sharpest tool in the kit. I'm not the fastest off the block, but, I do like to do things and go to the places. It's just the same. We've had a lot of trouble in Oldham with HMOs and hotels, and I want to go to these places and document. Just the same when I went to Bath, I went round Bath documenting things. I've been outside Avon, Somerset Police. I'll find that video. Absolutely giving them an hard time on a 30-minute video. After, going to try and see them about something, honestly. And, we don't forget us. We don't forget that, like, things that have happened with the authorities and how they treated that camp. I'm not going to forget, and I'll always speak out. But there's people judge it, and they haven't even been there. There's people judge it just off listening to what someone else says, and unfortunately, that is the lowest kind of like life form that, like, in the universe. If you're going, is that the kind of thing you do? You know what I mean? And I will come out with some names over these next few weeks. I will come out with some names, and I'll come out with a name who I think was connected to why that camp got raided in the first place. And I'm going to come out with a name, guys. I don't care. I don't care who gets offended or upset. I will come out with a name that I know is who's involved in that. But anyway, thank you very much. This is Friday Night Live, and we're talking about the camp. Let's get my face back on. I'm getting my face back on. So we've done a lot, and we've had a lot of support. We've had some absolute legends build that camp. We have some absolute legends who've put effort into supporting the camp. I was lucky to meet Alfie as well. Now, I've got videos of talking to Alfie that have never been played, guys. Never been played anywhere. No one's got these videos except for me, because I recorded them at Alfie's, and I've took my time in releasing them. We did have one on the other week, but so nobody's seen these recordings. Alfie's not with us now, but no one's seen this little chats that we had when Joe and Dion, honest to blessed be. So I turn up at the camp, guys. I turn up at the camp, and Joe said, "You know where you're going tomorrow, don't you?" And I just went, "What, to see Alfie?" And she went, "Yeah." And me and Dion the next day went to see Alfie, and we had a couple of hours with Alfie and his family. And like, I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed that I could have done that. And then I'm also blessed that Alfie went to his first remembrance. And I also went. That's when I first met him. But not that. That's the first time I met him. I introduced myself, told him who I was. I'm a friend of Joe and Dion's, who from the camp, and Adrian, is Captain Adrian. And I shook his hand. We had a bit of a chat later on. And then the next time I went down to camp, Dion took me and we went round seeing Alfie. And he remembered me. And, you know, I'm just like, I'm just blessed. I really am blessed to have met such nice people in my travels. Absolutely. Yes, Tommy Trump. Yes, mate. Good evening. Thank you very much, mate, for joining in. Friday Night Live, and it's a veteran camp Bath. That's what we're talking about. Sort of like blessed, actually. I'm gonna say sort of like the DWP woman's coming down next week to like have a look at the camp. Sort of like unofficial blessing. Joe really has a good relationship with the DWP and the Armed Forces Covenant, even though we're not holding the badge. They've already connected us up to veterans who've been to the camp. DWP as well have sent veterans to the camp as well. So we're just really blessed, guys, that we do have connection with people within the area. And you know, and there's a lot of stuff that's gone on. In the general election, there was no hustings in Oldham, and I went to the hustings in Bath. I came down the middle of the week and spent 3 days there, and I went to the hustings and shouted out support for veterans and said to them, you have this general election hustings. We're in a crisis in England, yet you're talking about people thousands of miles away not supporting veterans. And if anyone knows anything about the armed forces, you know that down south, Somerset, the west and east coast of the country, where all our planes took off to go on flights in Europe. There's a big section of like Somerset that were the majority of the armed forces would come from that area to do with like World War II and stuff like that. There's a massive history with that section of our country. And I talked about that. I've talked about it in streams. I've talked about this. We've done all this for 2-3 years while we've been regular streaming. So, you know, and I brought that up in the hustings, general election hustings. All the members of parliament for all the relative parties were there. And I absolutely made my voice absolutely crystal clear. And there is a live stream that they did, and I will get the bit out and cut it out where you can hear my voice when I'm telling them what I think. Big John doesn't just go on social media. I go to the places and support. And afterwards, let me tell you this, afterwards, one of the councillors come up to me. Her husband's a veteran. She thanked me for speaking out in support of him. She went, "Oh, you're not from around here?" No, I'm not, but I speak for people who are voting in the general election, which was like Joe and Dion. And I said to Joe, I'll go and check them all out, Joe, and ask questions and do stuff for support our veterans. Joe know that I was going there, and that's what I said to the woman. So she didn't have any reason. So you're not allowed to speak, because I was speaking for people who lived in that area, who voted in that general election. It's my right to go to any political meeting, don't matter where in the world, if I'm supporting people who are voting. No one's ever going to stop me. If I end up going to London to get hold of Khan, I'll be doing the same thing. I'll be speaking for people within London who personally will contact me. You know, like in Oldham, people want me to speak out, and they contact me all the time over issues and stuff like that. And I speak out about it. You know what I mean? I'm not a bandwagon jumper. I don't wait until half a dozen people are talking about it. I'm right there, right there. And obviously, it wasn't just that. We met a few members of parliament candidates in the last general election. I met a lot of them. I'd say running up to that general election, I got able to communicate with about 12 different members of parliament from George Galloway, to Reform members of parliament, Conservative members of parliament, Lib Dem members of parliament. I've spoken to all these people in these hustings. Don't know about you. I've sat up and spoke up, and and said things twice with George Galloway now, Rochdale and Batley. I had the Reform candidate. He got a mouth, well, not a mouthful, but he got a very stern talking to at that general election in Somerset. And I'm not going to tell you what I said to him, but he got a lot of stern talking to. Big John ain't just a sayer. I'm a bloody doer. I go above and beyond the call of duty. And, you know, that's the members of parliament thing. Yeah, of course, I've spoken to Mayor and Crime Commissioners, Andy Burnham for one of them. I've had 3 meetings with Andy. Just want to get that down on the record. You don't have to believe me, but it's true. 3 meetings with him, 2 online and 1 face-to-face, supporting a friend of mine called Bernie, whose house collapsed in Manchester and crashed down. And she lost all her worldly possessions, her and her son, and I supported her right up to the point where we've got a meeting, 3 meetings with Andy Burnham. So I've been there. Again, Big John just don't go on social media threatening people. Big John's like, duh. I go to the meetings, I don't threaten them, but I tell them what I think. That's what I do, guys. Bear with me. Let's get a little tiny video up. Bear with me. 1 minute, 20 seconds, bit of music. Bear with me. Yes. Last post filmed at Bath. Got plenty more like that that I'll play over the next few weeks. And I'm interested in if anyone's records or gets me. It's like band music like that, guys. That's what I'm interested in. And I have asked before if you get any kind of like armed forces pictures and stuff like that, you know, your local. You know what I should be doing? Cenotaphs. I want some cenotaphs sent to me. That's what I want. I've got some cenotaphs sent to me. Got loads, me. Scotland, all across England, Northern Ireland. Get me some cenotaphs. That's what I want. Pictures of cenotaphs. Think that'll do well. I'm going to have to jump up. I've got to make my nephew a brew. So let me see if I can find something else to put on. I'll have to get him. Sorry, I've just got in tonight late, so I haven't been able to like do much in getting stuff ready. Let me just see. Let's get one. Let's see if I can find. See, Bath 2023. Must have got some earlier than that. Sorry, I'm just not even sorted anything out. Right, numpty. But I've just got in late tonight, that's why. Let's see what I can find here. Oh yeah, I might have something here I can play a sec. Only if this is a video or not. Not coming up. Right, maybe I'm doing something wrong here. Right, video file. Get a video file out. Might be a bit better. 30 seconds. 42. 11. Let's see what this one is. Oh yeah. The encrypted that. For the concrete. Aaron Barbecue. Yes, guys, I just want to show you that's a cup, an Alfie cup. My nephew's just having a cup of tea. So a veteran Alfie cup there. Just want to show people. Be back in a sec, guys. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. Sorry. There was an issue with my file. What's up with the file? Bloody hell. Yeah, so let me get... Thank you for joining, 114 watching. Thank you very much. Like and subscribe, obviously, to the channel at NHP UK TV. Let me just get some more pictures up. We've also got the camp. I'll show you more of these. I'll have it a bit more set up next week's stream. I'm doing these streams every week, so I want some donations in. There's a GoFundMe. If you think about anything, I'm going to be getting a wish list sorted out. My old wish list, I can't change the name, so I'm going to have to write up a new one. And I want it Veterans Camp Bath, and that'll be on my YouTube hopefully before next week. But you can send stuff to the camp. If you're wise, you can think about what they might need over winter, or anyone like that in a position of not having a stable address. Send the stuff to the camp. Send the stuff to the camp. There will be specific things we'll ask for, but I'll get onto that this week, and I'll have a list next week about it. Let me just I'm trying to find some other... Yeah, we have a one-of-a-kind memorial. I think I've got a speech by Vinny here. Let's just get it up. I'll show you now. Bear with me, guys. You know, that's a one-of-a-kind memorial we've got at the camp. A one-of-a-kind memorial, guys. One-of-a-kind. There isn't nothing like it anywhere in country, on any farm or any grassland like that. And that particular year, we first did it, we had a path leading up to it from the main house, and we put on X amount of lanterns to represent how many veterans had took their lives that particular year. I think it was some round in the 30s that particular year we went. So if you can see the silhouettes. We've got all them at the camp. And, you know, stuff were donated by particular people. Tom put a few quid into getting some of them silhouettes. But we'll remember Tom, absolutely fantastic guy. I'd already met him before the camp, but he started coming to the camp when we started going a lot, and he supported the camp, and he put his own money into getting some of these silhouettes that we've got there. And we've got all this stuff at the camp, guys. We're not making up. We're not saying we got some and sold it. Anything that gets given that camp gets eaten and used. As simple as. Nothing gets resold off for any money or any rubbish like that. We keep it. So we've got all them silhouettes, but they need a bit of work. So if you're up for doing a bit of work, sprucing them up, if you want to do any painting or anything like that, there's stuff to do. Next summer, we need a good paint up at that camp. I'm going to be ordering some like paint grit for the bunkhouse area, because it can be slippy when it's wet. People will know that I've been to camp. And like when we did a briefing, when we did health and safety last year, we did Celebrity Get Me Out of Here, and we did an health and safety briefing. I did it with the kids and the adults. No running onto the floor where the bunkhouse areas and the showers, because it can be slippy. You know, we made it crystal clear. Everyone knew what we was doing. They knew where they went. We have first aiders on the camp as well. There's the first aiders, and we also have support for mental health. There's other things we can do to support mental health. We have several professionals who come through the camp. We've had registered nurses supporting the camp, registered people with particular courses to do with mental health and stuff like that. And like I said, 3 of them on the camp at the moment are registered first aiders. So you know, that's what we're doing at camp. I'm getting a new position. I'm going to be getting to do with Veterans Camp Bath. I will be media director. That's what I'm going to be to do with the camp going forward with Veterans Camp Bath. I will be the media director. Obviously, I'll be doing a lot of the streams. I will be on social media supporting the camp as well as doing videos, regular streams. We're going to get up and running and have a bit like that last show that we did with that Darren Edmondson. And actually, I think he's live at 10, guys. We might have to do a bomb if you fancy it, anyone. No, there's no live. 21st of November, that's tonight. Live podcast 9 till 10. It hasn't even been on. God, he's so much of a letdown, that guy. He can't keep up. He's not, what did he call it now? He's not, I'll tell you what. Ramo were in the chat earlier. You ask her who is punctual, who's punctual, and I don't often let anybody down, particularly, but I'm very punctual, me. And if I say I'm going to do a show, I'll do it. Even if I'm late, I'll do it. But there's no live on. It says between 9 and 10 p.m., but it hasn't been on. We could have bombed it. We could have bombed it tonight, guys. We could have bombed that show tonight. But what a letdown. What a letdown. Definitely not consistent. Well, anyway, that's him. So let's see what we've got else we've got on these pictures now. Vince talking. You have to turn it up.
So thank you all for coming. I thank Joe and Dion and their family for providing this opportunity in this wonderful place. I thank Tom, who came up with the idea, and facilitated it from his own pocket mainly, and the many, many others that helped Tom over the last few weeks create this wonderful, absolutely wonderful, well, what can I say more? It's a wonderful sight to see. Thank you all for taking part in that. I really appreciate that. I'm going to
Oh, Vince. God bless his soul. Passed away now, but he was a top guy, was Vince. He was a top guy. He was a top guy. So Minds at War, it says. That's a little walk down. That's a memorial. Minds at War. I've got some shots where it's dark. We've got lights on and we've had a drone put it in. But we've got all that stuff, guys. I've got all the helmets. We've got all the silhouettes and that, although the silhouettes need some work doing on them. Re-smoothing off, probably some need painting and that. But there's jobs there for people if you want to get involved next year. And we're going to push for this to get some weekends down where people are working over the weekends, painting, trimming back things, sorting this memorial out. The White Cross is still there, just needs a bit of work on it. And we didn't do a memorial this year, which is the first time since it's been built. We haven't done anything particular. but it does need a bit of work on it. So if you're interested, you want to come down next year when the weather's better, get down, bring a tent, camp. If you've got money and you want a bit extra, you can hire one of the public pods with a hot tub, and stuff like that. I mean, if a couple of people hired a hot tub, then we could all like get in and out of the big hot tub and stuff like that over a couple of days. I might think about that actually. Like on a particular day when we know people come, we'll pay for the pods, which will provide for the camp, and we'll use them for us because 2 of them have got massive jacuzzis, 6-man and an 8-man. So there's plenty of room for a lot various people. So I'll think about that next year. That's a good idea for next year. Camp always wants something. What something it wants is like ready-made logs. There is a log place actually. Next year or the next time I go down, I'm going to get my suit and I'm going to go round to the neighbours and knock on all the places and ask them if they'll support the camp. Like I said, the camp's going to be registered with the Covenant, the Armed Forces Covenant. We're getting a limited edition charity status will be coming, CIC, all official and all that lot. Again, if you're worried about money or out like that, there's 2 ways to donate. The GoFundMe that goes directly to Dion Drayson and sending stuff to the camp, food parcels and that all the stuff that you need is on the screen now to show you that. Nothing's going through anyone's hand who isn't the family of that camp. So, I know someone else has transferred money, but that's at the moment, that's how we want things to work. That GoFundMe and that address to send stuff to the camp. That's how we're going to work for now until we'll officially set up. But we'll let you know that. We'll show you records. We'll show you certificates. Whatever you want to see to prove that we're doing everything right, we will show you that stuff. Where are we up to? Oh, we've just gone past 10. Just gone past 10 and I didn't want to really stop just yet. But let me see. Get some other shots. You know, and I'm not going to pussyfoot around. We will go through the bad times and I will be like mentioning people who are horrible. And I won't go too hard on you. The only thing I'm going to say, and I just want people to get this crystal clear now. People who call this camp built this camp. And what you see, they might call the camp for something else, but they won't mention about building or money because they was part of it. And they know what the money got spent on. Just want people to know that. But if they fall out with the camp, it's for some other reason. The people who do go on about money have never been to the camp. The people who do point the fingers saying they scam this, they've never been to the camp. They've never been involved in the camp. They're just like that with somebody else behind their ears, Glenn Saffer. You know what I mean? So, you know, just want people to realise that. And that finally, what I'm going to say, I've had enough, me. I've had enough of social media. I've had enough of people threatening people. If you come after that camp in any vicious or anything way, I will be going to the authorities or the police. I want to run in local elections. There's no gangsters handshake with me. I'd rather do things by the law. So if I feel threatened or that camp's threatened with anything, I'll be going to the police. Not speaking for everyone, but I certainly will go to the police. Even though they might not do nothing, at least it's reported. Let me just tell you that. And we've already done that. We've already, through TikTok, people have already gone to the police about threats and false accusations. And I'm going to stick to that, me. I'm going to stick to that. And the people who know me now know that that's the way I want to go. And I'm not taking no shit off anybody. Not any Jewish Chronicle, Good Law Project, Member of Parliament who's never been Simon Fell, who thinks he can speak about the camp like he did. Not gonna stand for any of it, guys. Any of it. Let me just get this next picture up for you. I just mentioned Tom, who supported the camp. Let's look at some of the stuff that he he got for the camp, which is still there. Still, we haven't sold anything. We don't do stuff like that. When people donate to the camp, it comes to the camp, gets used. It's simple as. There's no ifs or buts on around that. There's nothing. It gets used. And let's just see. Sorry. So that's Tom there, guys, on the silhouettes and the guns and that. And like I said, we've got all that stuff at the camp. All that stuff is at the camp. All them guns, silhouette guns, by the way, not real firearms, guys. Don't the media or Avon Somerset police come busting round. The silhouettes for sure. For sure. Remember that the police raided the camp for suspected illegal weapons. They found nothing after 3 years, no further action, just ruined, right, and give us a bad name in the press, which is stuck, even though the camp was falsely no further action. Jewish Chronicle hadn't apologised. Good Law Project hadn't apologised. Bath Live, any what media, none of them have apologised, but no further action. And you can believe me or you don't believe me. I'm not sure if I still got it, or I will try and find it, the document that says no further action. All right, you don't have to believe me, but that document, and I have shown it. I have shown that document on a stream live, and I will show it you again by the time we've finished the streams. But there's Tom, and that's one of the daughters. And they're sorting out the silhouettes and stuff like that. One of Joe and Dion's daughters. And they did that. It's just outside the big bunkhouse. He's not with us now, Tom, but he was a nice guy. When I come to that camp, I remember I'd seen him before at a veteran demo. And he come and I came down to camp that day, and I spent I was there for about 2-3 days, and I spent good time talking to him. I didn't just flirt off and that. And then I met him again at the camp, and then he passed away. But you know, we remember him. We remember him, and we always will. But thank you very much, Tom. God bless you, mate. You were a top man. I liked you, and you liked the camp. You got on with me and all that lot. Everyone there. Top bloke, absolutely top bloke. But like I said, guys, all that stuff is still here, and we want to use it. I've been pestering, I've been going on to Joe and Steve about getting this stuff all set up, and so they're gonna need painting up. Look, doing stuff like they're doing there. Got it all, and we want it all sorting out, guys. So if you're up for giving us a lift to do anything like that, just let us know. And next year we'll be pushing for this kind of help. Big Vinny's going to help when we get the new. We want another bunkhouse up, and when we do finally get to the point, we have got people, tradesmen, who are going to support the camp. So that's a great stuff. And Vinny's one of our party members as well. So thank you very much. Yes, mate. Yes, Sean. Spear thrower. Good evening, mate. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you putting it up. Thank you very much. Yes, warm socks, bath, shower sets, towels. Oh, excellent. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. But yeah, the camp, that's what we're going to be doing for the next few weeks. Going to be going on about the Veterans Camp Bath. And if people want to personally ask me anything, I'll put my email up. If you want to know anything about the camp or any of the whispers and the rumors that you hear, if you want to know about them, Get in contact with me and I'll put you straight on them. It's simple as I'll put you straight on them. But I'm not going to take any online abuse, threats, or anything. If it does come to me or that camp, I'm going to the police and I'll be protesting against the police. I'll go to the police meetings in Bath if they're going to start on us again and call them all out. Fake news, they lie, they just want to shut us down. Veterans Camp Bath, we're talking big. Next week, we're going to get our Steve on, #1 camp coordinator at the moment. I used to hold that title, but I've got a good director of media now. I've got a good director of media, and it's the best place for me to be, guys. It's the best place I can promote the camp. Watch out for me posts about it. I'm putting up exclusive videos that nobody's ever seen. Nobody's ever seen of our veterans talking about what they did and their lives and stuff like that. Nobody's ever seen exclusive stuff, exclusive pictures. There's no pictures like this in the Sun or anything. These are all my pictures, exclusive to me and to the Veterans Camp Bath. And we've got thousands of them, absolutely thousands of pictures took over these years. We will we'll definitely be talking again about Justice for Bunny, because that's when I first met Joe. Me and Joe have supported Justice for Bunny since the beginning, and we go every year protesting or doing our stuff, whether it be HMP, Bristol City, wherever. We go every year, me and Joe. Loyal we are. And thank you, Joe. I've had a fantastic time at that camp. I really have. It's been my getaway. I didn't have any time to go anywhere else, and it was difficult to sort people out to look after my mum while I were away. It took 3 people while I was away at the camp or having a break to look after my mum, whereas I took care of her on my own. It took 3 people when I had to have a week off, and the rest of the family got involved, of course. My sisters and my grannies, they all got involved, and my nephews to look after. So, but 3 of them, and I did it on my own. God bless Tom. God bless Joe and Dion. God bless Veterans Camp Bath. I'll see you all next Friday. Don't forget exclusive stuff off Alfie, exclusive chats off Alfie we will have on this stream. God bless you all. Don't forget NHP UK TV Party Talk every Tuesday, 8 p.m. If you're interested in anything we do, get in contact with me. If you want to get in contact with the camp, we do have actually, there is an email, sir. There will be an email you can get in contact with. Also, I want to have Mitch on and maybe Lisa, who are the core, Mitch and Lisa are the core of our trauma programs. So maybe we can get them on over the next couple of weeks. Lisa's actually been to the camp and spent a good few days with her sons, so she knows what it's like. But we'll get them on, and we'll be talking about the trauma courses, obviously, that we're going to be doing. And we're going to rebrand the trauma courses. No links to Darren Edmondson or anything. Remember, I've done 3 of these courses. Lisa's done 4. Nick Wilson's done 2. Jackie Eva has done 1. She done her first one. And we're going to be doing more courses next year. God bless you all. And let them just get... And I'll see you all next week.